Hey y'all, so I had a completely different topic that I wanted to chat about today, but I decided to go ahead and scrap that because I realized we are at the end of March 2019, or at least we will be as of this weekend. And so that kind of reminded me that we're at the end of the first quarter of the new year of 2019. So I wanted to take a minute and just chat and check in and see how everyone's New Year's resolutions are going. I know at the beginning of the year, I didn't really commit to any hard and fast resolutions, but I kind of wanted to integrate, mind, body, spirit, sort of this holistic and symbiotic wellness approach to really carry me through the new year. In the past, I usually just focused on one of those aspects. Usually it was a physical thing, and I would say, I'm cutting carbs, or I'm working out every day or every weekday, or that kind of thing, and that never really seemed to serve me very well. So I wanted to just kind of check in with you all, see how it's going for you, also talk about maybe some of the things that I'm working on, and encourage each other and share ideas to either think about the new year that we want to continue to do now, or if we want to change that plan. And there's nothing wrong with change. That doesn't mean you're a failure. It just means that you have come up with a better plan, and that's called growth, which is fantastic. So let's just share some ideas today and see where we go. So let's get the first very obvious aspect out of the way, and that's body. People, when they think of New Year's resolutions, they want to focus on getting their body in shape and getting ready for summer and all that kind of thing, which is well and good. I know that's one of the areas that I wanted to focus on, but it's also wanting to focus on it in kind of a healthy way. So not just my physique, but also my health. So how are you doing? Are you staying strong and flexible? Are you drinking your water, taking your vitamins, having a probiotic? I know I've started to implement adaptogenic herbs in my diet, so like ashwagandha and maca and things like that. And I'm really trying to focus on getting more sleep. I literally have an alarm set on my phone that signals me, okay, it's 9:30. You should start wrapping up whatever you're working on so that you can be in bed lights out by 10 o'clock. Another aspect related to bodily health is stress. And that's something I want to talk about because dealing with stress, yes, your body, when you're stressed, you produce cortisol, and that causes you to hold on to fat, right? So yes, that's going to affect your physique, but also it's going to carry over into every area of your life. I know this. I had a really stressful situation recently, and I wasn't just dealing with that particular situation. I would carry that into how I treated my children, or how I would treat my husband, or even how I would think about things. That kind of put that filter over how I would view other scenarios. So anyway, I wanted to encourage you to really think about how you're dealing with stress as part of that physical aspect. So how is that going? What did you have a resolution in that area for both, working out and being healthy? How is that going, and does that need to change? And ultimately, with taking care of your body, it's really about taking care of the vessel, the physical vessel that carries you through life. Especially if you are responsible for taking care of others. So if you have a family, you have to take care of yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup. All right, so the second aspect is your mind. What are you doing to grow your knowledge base? I love the idea of reading, and I do read books, but to actually sit down and read a book, I find so challenging. So I usually have several that I'm kind of working through depending on my mood. But to kind of supplement that, I like to listen to audiobooks. I know through the library you can usually do the Hoopla app and you get free book downloads, or there's always Audible where you can have a subscription, and I feel like that's an investment. I think it's like $15 a month or something, but I feel like that's an investment if you can have books essentially at your fingertips, but that you're not even having to thumb through, that you can be listening to while you're doing dishes or laundry or driving around. To me, that's a huge asset and a game changer. So definitely figure out what's going to work best for you, but how can you continue to be a lifelong learner? I know that's my goal. I'm sure it's your goal as well. So just think about how you can incorporate that, and if this is an area that you had committed to in the beginning of the year and that you just sort of need to re-engage and figure out how you can incorporate it into your life. So lastly, one area that I was working on that I want to see if this was part of your New Year's resolution is the idea of nurturing your spirit, right? So we did mind and body, and now this is the third part of spirit. Was that part of your New Year's resolution? Should this be part of your game plan moving forward? And really just nurturing the characteristics and the unique qualities that make you who you are. Are you taking time to do things like pray and meditate and just be silent? I know when I take the time to kind of just be still, even if it's just turning off, whatever, the TV or, my phone or whatever that is, and taking the time to do things in the quiet. So instead of having all of this noise come at me, it's like my mind opens up to think about things or think about things in a way that maybe I wouldn't have before. It's like I'll be doing something in the silence, like washing dishes, and then all of a sudden it's like, I never thought about that way. So I would just encourage you to really just take the time to incorporate some of that silence into your life. Going along with that is I would encourage you to take time to nurture the inner qualities in you that bring you joy. So the things that maybe spark creativity. So maybe, you have a passion for painting or working with your hands. Maybe you're somebody who enjoys a good Pinterest project. Maybe you're somebody who likes athletics. Thinking about what really kind of juices you up, recharges your batteries, and really helps sort of recenter you spiritually so that you're operating out of a balance and a calmness instead of just sporadically going at a breakneck pace that is really unsustainable. That is going to eventually pay a toll. So how can you take the time to really focus on yourself and nurture some of that inner spark that brings you joy? So I'll come back to my original question. How are your New Year's resolutions going, and do you need to make any changes? And if so, the good news is there's still 9 months left in the year. There's plenty of time to make any tweaks or course corrections so that you can start today at becoming the person you want to be by the end of 2019. So did you like this video? If this kind of content speaks to you, please feel free to hit the like button below so that I know. And also, if you're new to my channel, Pragmatic Paula, welcome. And I encourage you to subscribe and then also tap the bell so you can get the notification every week when I upload. And until we meet back again next week, may the Lord bless and multiply your time. Bye.